The Madman! 6 new cards revealed from Galakrond's Awakening, and certainly not more cards than that. Rising Winds! Druid, 2 mana, wind spell. Choose one, draw a card, or summon a 3/2 eagle. To the untrained eye, this looks underwhelming. 2 mana, draw a card? That's terrible, right? 2 mana, summon a 3/2 beast? But, twin spell! It's like choose one, draw 2 cards for 2 mana, or summon a 3/2 eagle and draw a card. Those both sound insane, right? Now the downside is the card you extra draw, because the twin spell creates another copy of Rising Winds in your hand, is not very good. But the point is, if you were really stretching the limits on this card, you could say it's 2 mana, draw a card and draw a bad card, or it's 2 mana, 3/2, battle cry, draw a bad card. And we like our 2 mana 3/2s, which draw a bad card. Like, those cards actually see play. And the bad card, you can actually turn it in if you have ridiculous amounts of mana for a good card. There's a lot of different ways to play the card. You can play it in Quest Druid, you can play it as draw 2 cards, you can play it to summon 2 3/2s, you can play it to summon a 3/2 and draw a card. You can just play it on 2 mana to curve out with a 3/2. If you're looking for something, you can just 2 mana, draw a card. It's similar to Cycling Wrath then. I actually think that this card is deceptively powerful. Also, you wouldn't commission card art for Bald Eagle and put it on a bad card, would you? I think Rising Winds, it's a sleeper. Firefly saw a lot of play. 1 mana, 1/2, get a 1/2 in your hand. This is a 2 mana, 3/2, get a 3/2 in your hand. Like, that's pretty sweet, right? Arcane Amplifier, a mage 3 mana, 2/5 elemental. Your hero power deals 2 extra damage. 3 mana, 2/5, pretty solid. Elemental, pretty solid. It carries a massive hero power bonus, so it's almost like it has taunt. And it can be played in not just 2 different modes. Like I was gonna say, you can play it as a 3 mana 2/5, you can play it as a 5 mana 2/5, which battle cry deals 3 damage because you use it with the Fire Blast. But there's a third mode you can play it in. You can play it as a 1 mana 2/5, and that's quite a start. I think with elemental allies and elemental evocation, Arcane Amplifier fills in a much needed spot for elemental mages. Just a solid elemental. Sky General Crag, the third of 4 legendaries in the set. 4 mana 2/3 pirate with taunt. Battlecry, if you've played a quest this game, summon a 4/2 parrot with rush. 4 mana 6/5 in stats if you've played a quest. Needless to say, if you play a deck with quest in it, you should probably play Sky General Crag unless you have a really good reason to, like you're playing Resurrect Priest and you don't want the 2/3 or the 4/2 parrot with rush in your dead pool. So notably good in Quest Hunter, since this is 2 bodies in 1, and also Quest Hunter is the only main quest that's being run. But it doesn't only work with quests, it also works with side quests. Now the problem with side quests is side quests don't always begin in your hand, and if you play Sky General Crag without having played a quest, he's really bad. Pretty straightforward card in that it makes quest decks better. And maybe, just maybe, I don't think so, might see play in decks that run 4 side quests. Shaman, 10 mana, Eye of the Storm spell. Summon 3/5/6 elementals with taunt, overload 3. Imagine paying 13 mana for 3/5/6s. A 13 mana, 15, 18. It is the biggest spell in all of Hearthstone so far. Certainly, if I manage to make it to 10 mana all the time, I would want to play this spell, so it's a good spell to discover, perhaps, if Shamans have a way to get spells. 2 opportunities to get Eye of the Storm on your Horror. That is the big high roll. I think that Eye of the Storm is a little too big to consistently play, but might create a control Shaman archetype, maybe. Especially with the 4th legendary, the Fist of Ridin. Shaman weapon, 4 mana, 1/4. After you cast a spell, summon a legendary minion of that cost, lose 1 durability. This card is similar to Medivh, which was an 8 mana 7/7, which gave you Atiesh, which did much the same thing. But this card can come out as early as turn 4, and then you can follow it up with a turn 5 Hagatha Scheme, turn 7 Earthquake, turn 10 Eye of the Storm for huge stuff. The fact that it summons a legendary minion versus just any minion tends to be bad because legendary minions tend to have really big, flashy battlecry effects, so the stats aren't as strong. But hey, it comes out as early as turn 4 and then just gets you value. It is 4 minions for 4 mana. Ultimately though, I'm not sure a control shaman can be put together that is cohesive enough to do that well in the meta. I think the biggest impact of these cards is that Swamp Queen Hagatha is significantly better. And finally, we have Escaped Mana Saber, 4 mana 3/5 beast with stealth. Whenever this attacks, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. That's cool, we've never seen this combination of effects. We've never seen this effect, period. The closest I would compare this to would be the Druid 2 mana 2/3 Darnassus Aspirant, which has a battle cry of gain an empty mana crystal, and then Death Rattle, lose it. Similarly, Escaped Mana Saber, when it comes into play, your opponent is probably not going to be able to kill it, so it will attack and you will gain a mana crystal for pretty much as long as it lives. So I guess it is similar to Darnassus Aspirant, which was a powerful card, but it ramped you early on 2. So this is different. It is for every class. The effect is not minor enough to say minor, but not major enough to say major, so it's like, it's moderate effect, I suppose. Just decent enough to fill in the 30th spot of a few decks. So there you have it. Neat cards. Looking forward to seeing more cards, of which currently there are not any more.